Hello DBCR students, you are now ready for your second assignment. The directions I'm going to walk you through are over here on the right hand side, and the document that you finished for assignment 1 is on the left hand side. If you do not do all the steps correctly, you will have to do some work to get your document ready for this assignment, but it shouldn't take you more than a few minutes. So go ahead right now and take a few seconds to make sure that your document looks just like the PDF McDonald_Jeremy. Once you have done that, come back here. You're going to want to put your directions on one side and your document on the other side so you can see them side by side. I'm going to walk through all the steps, but I'm only going to show you the steps that are new. As I said, discussed in class, we will not be going over things that you should already know how to do. This is going to just be how to get the things done that you haven't seen before or that may be a little bit tricky. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to change all the text starting at our philosophy and going to the last sentence in our teachers and change everything to Times New Roman size 10. Since you know how to do that, we're going to skip to the next piece. So the next piece asks us to insert a column break after each section for our philosophy, our students, and our teachers. So I'm going to put my cursor here. I'm going to go to page layout, choose breaks, and choose column. And one of the things that you should start doing is clicking on this little paragraph symbol here. So that way you can see where everything is. You're not going to see this if you don't do that. And the last one needs to be here. Insert column break. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this spacing here because it's not going to look right if I don't do that. Alright, so I got my 3 column breaks. Now I'm going to highlight my 3 sections here. So starting with our philosophy, going all the way to our students, and I'm now going to create a 3 columns. So I'm going to stay in page layout and go to columns 1, 2, and 3. Now what you should have is our philosophy all in one column, our students all in one column, and our teachers all in one column. So we're going to now change our level 3 headers to Times New Roman, bold, and black so that they stand out. Since we know how to do this, I'm going to skip that step. And on page 2, I'm going to create a new level heading, new level 1 heading called Don Bosco Cristo Rey dash by the numbers. Now, the one thing I will show on how to do this is I will do, let's see here, I will make sure that you see the dash because if you've never done that before, you might not know intuitively. So I'll put 2 dashes, space, and then numbers. And you can see that Word automatically changes those 2 dashes to that shape there, which is what we were looking for. Okay, so I have my level 1 heading there. I'll make sure that it's Times New Roman, bold, black, and centered. And the table and the graph should be below it, so don't allow any of this information to be above or in any way in between the heading. So next we're going to create, step 7, we're going to create SmartArt in the Who We Are section. So I'm going to scroll up to Who We Are. I'm going to put my cursor just underneath Who We Are. And now I'm going to create what's called SmartArt. So I'm going to go to the Insert. It's hard to see it here. I'll expand it so that you can see it's actually labeled. Go to SmartArt right here. I'm going to shrink this so we can see the rest of the directions. Click on SmartArt, and now it asks for a object type that's relationship and radial event. You don't need to know the difference between any of these other than to know that I'm looking for relationship. And then within that, I'm looking for radial event. I happen to know where this is, but if I didn't, I would just have to simply click or put my mouse over each one and look at the name. So I see the vens are down here, so I can now just look and see there's some other stuff, but we want radial VIN. This is what we want. Click OK. Now, level 1, this is the top one. I'm going to put DBCR Community. Level 2, Faith, Family, Future, Fun. And click on the X. And there we are. Now I need to change the art size position to height, width, and the position in the page. And normally I would skip this step because you already know how to do that. But instead I want to show you how to actually get into the more finer details. So I'm going to click my little layout option, Smart Tip, right here on the side, so you can see it right here. I'm going to go to More, See More, and this is going to bring up a lot more options for me. So if we go click into here, you'll see that the position is all grayed out. We can't change it. So in order to make that happen, first we need to go into our wrap text and choose tight. Now if we click on See More, now we can adjust our size and we can adjust our absolute positions here as well. So we want our horizontal to be 0 and we want our vertical to be 0.08. And then for our size, we want 1.7 and width 2.91. Now again, I wouldn't normally show you how to change this because you already know how to do that, but I wanted to show you the more options. And so you can see here you can do a lot of different things in terms of, in fact, we could have changed the text wrapping here. You can change a lot of functions here, and this will actually be necessary for your certification because you will need to go to the More section. Alright, so this actually doesn't look all that good. So what I want to do is I want you guys to just kind of play around with it and to make it look a little cleaner. There you go. Alright, so now we're done with step 8. Step 9 is simply to clean this up so that you have 2 nice looking pages. Right, so there shouldn't be a lot of extra spaces around here. So like this space is necessary because this is here, but if we were to move the text box, not the actual thing there. So if yours looks like this, we don't want that, right? We want everything to be nice and clean. So go ahead and move things around. Add spaces where necessary, take them away where necessary. If you need to create a section break, right here, this should actually automatically appear when you go to create your column. If for some reason it doesn't appear here, then you can simply go to your page layout tab and then insert your break, section break, continuous. Right, so you want your section break, see here, and then you want continuous. And that's going to allow you to have your columns appear here. And if we click on View Ruler, you can see right here you have column 1, gray, column 2, gray, column 3. If I click here, this is all available. The other thing you want to do, since we're in the View tab, is click on Navigation pane, and this is what it should look like. In fact, that doesn't look right now, does it? So let me change this back here to our philosophy. And sometimes you have to highlight it. There we go. And remember, originally asked for that to be 10, so for whatever reason it changed it. So I'm going to take it back to 10. And this is the last step. So this is what you want to do. Right now on this step you want to go through and you want to make sure that you see all of you see everything in here, and you want to make sure that everything is that's supposed to be heading 3 is in fact a heading 3, and everything that's supposed to be heading 2 is a heading 2. You want to make sure all your columns and everything look right. If you want to play around with them, you go ahead and feel free to do that. And by play around with them, I mean you can adjust this just to see how it works. But for the purpose of this paper, you can probably just leave it be. And that is it. That's going to be your assignment 2. So that took me all of 10 minutes and 50 seconds, and that included explaining and doing things multiple times. So again, we're looking at relatively quick project for you guys. All right, thank you. If you have questions, see myself or Mr. Felix.